empty. I know in our house we switched over our internet provider at the first of the year, something that I had been putting off for a long time, and finally got around to getting a more reliable service. And now that I'm having to do a lot of live streaming from my house, I'm certainly glad that I did. So many things in life work out that way. We think we have plenty of time to take care of them. We think that it'll be easier later, but it very rarely happens that way. Let's read Proverbs chapter 3. In Proverbs chapter 3, we see a proverb that talks about how we should look and view the problems that we face. Hard. Putting off a hard thing makes it impossible. That's the way I felt like in my own life. There's a lot of things that I'm glad that I went ahead and took care of before we found ourselves in this time of crisis. There are times that things I wish I would have taken care of. It may have been something as easy as going to the store and stocking up beforehand, or getting something done around the house that made life easier and now makes it so much more difficult to do. So many times in life we think putting something off makes it easier, but it actually makes it harder. There's a proverb that talks about that in Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 27 when it says, "Do not withhold good from those whom it is due when it is your power to do it. Do not say to your neighbor, 'Go and come back again tomorrow, and I will give it,' when you have it with you to do." This proverb is warning us that there's a mistake that can be made when saying tomorrow will be a better day, putting things off. We realize how easy life can be upended, how things we think are so sure aren't as sure as they once were. That's why it's important that when we have an opportunity to do something, we take advantage of it. Maybe it's the opportunity to do good to our neighbor, an opportunity to encourage, an opportunity to build up. Sure, we can say, when everything settles down, we'll get to it. But things may not settle down. But there's even more important things that we consider, like our relationship with God, like our state of salvation. We may think, there'll be a better time later, but we don't know that there will be a later. James tells us that our life is a vapor that appears for a little while and disappears. Things we think are so certain aren't necessarily those that are so certain. So it's important today that we think about the things that we know need to be done and do them. Thank you so much for joining with us today, and God bless.